Good morning. Myself, Dr. T. Raghuraman, Assistant Professor, Department of Automobile Engineering under School of Mechanical Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education Research, Chennai. This video lecture, we will see about the topic fluid kinematics, which is coming under the course code U18 PCAU 302, Engineering Fluid Mechanics. Fluid kinematics, if you are seeing about a kinematics, kinematic is defined as that branch of science which deals with the motion of particles without considering the forces causing the motion. The velocity at any point in flow field at any time is studied in that branch of fluid mechanics. Once the velocity is known, then the pressure distribution and hence forces acting on the fluid can be determined. In this video lecture, the method of determining velocity and acceleration that will be discussed. So method of describing fluid motion, it's mainly with two equations, the Lagrangian equation and another thing is being a Eulerian method. In case of Lagrangian method, a single fluid particle is followed during its motion and its velocity, acceleration, density that will be getting described. In Eulerian method, the velocity, acceleration, pressure, density, etc. are described at a point in a flow field. That is the difference. It's having a single fluid particle for the case of Lagrangian method, and the Eulerian method, it is described at a point in a flow field. So the Eulerian method is what it is commonly used in case of fluid mechanics. And now we will see about the types of fluid flow. The fluid flow is classified as steady and unsteady flows, and uniform and non-uniform flows, laminar and turbulent flow, compressible and incompressible flow, then rotational and irrotational flow, and one-dimensional and two-dimensional flow. Now we will see each one by one. Steady flow. The steady flow is what it is defined as a type of flow in which the fluid characteristics like velocity, pressure, density, etc. at a point that do not change with time. That's why the word is steady. It is steady. It is not getting changing. If it is changing with respect to time, that is what we will be saying as an unsteady flow. That is what the next category. So that's what in for case of a steady flow, if you're saying it mathematically, so that will be the velocity is what v, as well as pressure is p and density is rho. You can say with respect to time. See, dou v by dou t with respect to time and on the three-dimensional characteristics x, y, z, you will be having a constant value 0. That is, change is not there. Do not change with time. This is equal to 0. So if you are seeing a change with respect to time, that is what dou v by dou t, that is equal to 0. As it is not having change, you are equating it to 0. Unsteady flow, what will happen? The same mathematical equation you will write as not equal to 0 because it is going to change with time. That is what in case of an unsteady flow. So unsteady flow is the type of fluid, this velocity, pressure, density at a point that changes with respect to time. That is what you will be saying mathematically. This del v as well as del p by del t with respect to time, if you are seeing that is going to change with respect to time. So that is why it is not equal to 0. And the next flow is what a uniform flow. In case of uniform flow, it is what the flow in which the velocity at a given time does not change with respect to space. That is length of direction of flow. Mathematically, you can write this as with respect to space. You are saying that is what the del x. So length of flow in direction x, it is not going to change. So the velocity is not changing. So you are saying it is equal to 0. If it is a non-uniform flow, that is going to be a not equal to 0. That is what a non-uniform flow. So a non-uniform flow is the type of a flow in which velocity at any given time changes with respect to space. That is what you are writing mathematically as del v by del s at a time constant. That is not equal to 0. And the next flow is what a laminar flow and a turbulent flow. If you are seeing about a laminar flow is what it is defined as the type of flow in which the fluid particles move along well-defined paths are streamlined, and all the streamlines are straight and parallel. And thus, the particles move in laminas or layers, gliding smoothly over the adjacent layer. So this type of flow is what called to be a streamline flow or viscous flow. And turbulent flow is what the type of flow in which the fluid particles move in a zigzag way. And due to the movement of fluid particle in a zigzag way, the eddies formation will be taking place, which are responsible for high energy loss. And for a pipe flow, the type of flow is determined by a non-dimensional number, V d by nu. So this is what called to be a Reynolds number, where V is what the velocity and D is the diameter of the pipe, and nu is what the kinematic viscosity. So this thing we are going to see on the upcoming module also. In module 4 also it will be getting used for solving the problems in flow through pipes. So that's what D is the diameter of pipe and V is the velocity of flow in pipe, and the nu is a kinematic viscosity of fluid. And we will be knowing already in the previous module we got seen mu is the viscosity, dynamic viscosity, or simply it can be written as viscosity. But kinematic viscosity will be written with a nu symbol. Okay. And if the Reynolds number, based upon Reynolds number, we can say the laminar flow, turbulent flow. If it is less than 2000, that will be said to be, the flow will be said to be a laminar. And another important thing is 4000. The number 4000 is what for the turbulent flow, you have to keep it in mind. So the Reynolds number more than 4000 means it is what called to be a turbulent flow. And if it is in between this 2000 to 4000, then the flow can be said either a laminar or a turbulent flow, as it is making in between the range. And the next type of flow is being what compressible flow and incompressible flow. The compressible flow is what the type of flow in which the density of fluid changes from point to point, or in other words, the density is not constant for the fluid. Mathematically, rho is not constant. That is what a compressible flow. But an incompressible flow is the type of flow in which the density is constant for the fluid flow. Liquids are generally incompressible while gases are compressible. Because you know, incompressible means what? Liquids, it is a, you will be knowing you can able to make a compression of a liquid. If you are compressing it, it will be subjected to a lot of changes of a specific weight, pressure, and that is what gases will be said to be a compressible one. You can occupy at any space. The gases can occupy at any space if you are making a compression. So for an incompressible flow, the rho will be what? It is a constant one. And the case of a rotational and irrotational flow, the rotational flow is what? It is the type of flow the fluid particles flowing along streamlines. We have seen already about streamline is what laminar flow. Also rotate about their own axis. And if the fluid particles flowing along streamlines that do not rotate about their own axis, then that type of flow is what called to be a irrotational flow. And one-dimensional flow, two-dimensional flow, three-dimensional flow. One-dimensional flow means it is a type of flow in which the flow parameters such as velocity is a function of time and one space coordinate only. So the one space coordinate is being what? Only a x-axis. And for a steady one-dimensional flow, the velocity is a function of one space coordinate only. The variation of velocity in other two mutually perpendicular direction is assumed negligible. Hence, mathematically, for a one-dimensional flow, E equal to f of x and v is there not there and w is not there, because that is what y-axis and z-axis. And u, v, and w are what velocity components in the x, y, and z direction respectively. In case of two-dimensional flow, as we had seen previously, only x-axis. Now the flow will be what? Function of velocity is what? Function of time, and it is in two rectangular space coordinate. A rectangular space coordinate means we will be having x and y axis. So the velocity is what? Function of two space coordinates only, and variation of velocity is what? In the third direction, it is will be considered as a negligible, because we are considering only a two-dimensional property. So that velocity is what? It's a function of x and y. So f of 1 of xy, and v also what? It is f2 of xy, and there is no third dimension consideration. So you are not having a third velocity. W is not considered. If you are having three-dimensional flow, W also will be going to come into effect. So the function of time will be what? Three mutual perpendicular direction. That is what a three-dimensional flow. So you'll be considering x, y, and z. All the three axes you will be considering. That is what a space coordinate. So you will be having a u function of x, y, z. V also being a function of x, y, z, and W also being a function of x, y, z. Now we will see about a rate of flow or discharge. In continuation to that, we will be going to see the problems with the usage of continuity equation. Rate of flow of discharge, we will be having a continuity equation. We will see about what is a continuity equation. So in case of rate of flow or discharge, so it is the quantity of a fluid flowing per second. How much of volume of a fluid flowing in a passage per second. That is what you will be saying about a discharge. That is what meter cube per second, because how much volume? Volume means meter cube per second. So it can be said in liters per second also, because it is what you are saying as quantity, how much liters will be transferring. So that you can able to see, already you will be knowing 1 liter equal to how much meter cube. You had already seen that, because if you are making a 10 centimeter prism, then you will be making 1000 centimeter cube. That will be equal to what? 1 liter. From that, you can able to make correlation between meter cube and liter. So now, if our case of an incompressible fluid, the rate of flow of discharge, it is what it is expressed as a volume of fluid flowing across the section per second. So for the case of compressible fluid means what? That is what gases. The rate of flow is usually expressed as the weight of fluid flowing across the section. So thus, for a liquid, the Q will be what? Meter cube per second, that is liters per second. And in case of gases, the unit will be kg per second and Newton per second. So now we are going for a continuity equation. Consider a liquid flowing through a pipe in which A is a cross-section area of pipe and V is the average velocity of fluid across the section. So the discharge will be said as Q equal to A into V. Now we are going to see the continuity equation. This AV is what at a different section, if you are considering, that is going to be a constant, because whenever you are allowing certain amount of a volume of fluid passing through from one place to another place at a different section, if you are considering the same amount of water only, it is going to flow. That is what a logical understanding. So that is what you are going to see in case of continuity equation also. So now continuity equation, the equation based on the principle of conservation of mass. What amount of mass of water you are going to allowing to pass through in a pipe, so that is going to flow that same amount of mass of water. That is what conservation of mass. Based on that, you are going to say about that continuity equation. So thus the flow will be what, and the pipe at any cross section, if you are seeing, the quantity of fluid per second is what it is constant. So now if you are seeing, so the water is flowing, you see there is a variation in cross section. At area 1 section 1 if you are seeing, you will be having a lesser area. At section 2 you will be having a more area. That is what it is, a divergent type of an nozzle. So that's what you will be having a diverging. Converging means you will be going to get a reduction in area, that is converge. The wordings itself, there is a logic. You will, without a confusion, you can say at any time. So diverging means it is getting diverged. So it is getting enlarging. Converging is what? It's like focusing. Okay, now it is getting diverging. Okay, so now you can see there is a two cross section. You are seeing 1 as well as 2. At section 1 you are considering velocity as well as density and area. So that is what for the case of section 1. Similarly, you will be getting what? B2 rho 2 A2 for the case of section 2. So now at section 2, you are going to get B2 rho 2 A2. Now rate of flow at the section 1. So how much of water is going to flow? If you are seeing, that is being what, rho 1 A1 B1. That is what the rate of flow at section 1. You know about the units for density, that is being what? Kilogram per meter cube, and area is what? It is meter square, and V is what? Velocity. Okay, that is meter per second square. Okay, that is what it is going to give you how much of meter cube per second is flowing in a passage. So that's what rho AV is what rate of flow, density into area into velocity. So the same thing at section 2 if you are seeing, that will be what? Rho 2 into A2 into V2. Anyway, the fluid will be what? The same liquid only, it is going to flow from one place to another place. So that density value will be what? That will be a constant one. So by that, we are going to make that according to law of conservation of mass, it is going to the same liquid having the same density only. So that rate of flow at section 1, that will be what? Rate of flow at section 2. By that way, rho 1 A1 V1, that will be what? Equal to rho 2 A2 B2. The same mass only, it is going to flow through on the other section also. And equation is what? Applicable to the compressible as well as incompressible. This equation is what you will be calling as a continuity equation. So in case of a liquid, density will be what? Constant. It is already we had seen in the case of a previous model. And also what we had seen for the case of an compressible one, that is for the gases. Gases is what? Compressible. You can able to compress the gas. So whatever the gas, if you are going to give a pressure, you can able to compress. So that is what a compressible fluid is what called to be a gas. For the gases, density is not constant. So for that, you have to make application of this equation. But if it is a liquid, rho 1 will be equal to rho 2, so that you can make use of A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So that is what if the fluid is in compressible. Compressible means what? Liquid. For the liquid, it can be reduced to A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. But for gases, you have to make continuity equation as rho 1 A1 V1, that will be equal to rho 2 A2 V2. Now we will see one problem on this. So you have a diameter of pipe at section 1 and 2 having respectively 10 centimeter and 15 centimeter, and initial velocity is given in the problem as 5 meter per second. What will be the velocity at section 2? So using continuity equation, it will be easy to solve. So whatever the problem while you are saving, you have to make the unit conversion. If it is something is given centimeter, we have to convert the linear dimension to meter. So that is what now it is given with the centimeter. So that centimeter you are converting into meter. We know 100 centimeter equal to 1 meter. So the centimeter to meter we can convert by dividing by 100. So 10 divided by 100 will be what, 0.1. So making it into 0.1 meter. So the area we will be knowing. So the diameter of pipe only given. If nothing is specified, we have to assume it is being a circular cross section. So unless otherwise specified, okay. Most of the pipes means always it is what, it is a circular only. Circular type of pipes only exist. Suppose if it is being a rectangular type of pipe, then it will be specified in the problem. So area is being what, a circular one, because all the pipes are generally a circular cross section only. So pi by 4 d square you are putting, and this d1 of 0.1 you are putting there, so that you will be calculating what is a1, and v1 it is already given in meter per second only. So now we are going to make at section 2 what is the d2, that also we are converting into meter, and we are calculating the respective area by using the pi by 4 d2 square. So D2 value are substituting, so that you are making a calculation of A2. And we know what is the discharge through pipe at the section 1, that will be what, Q equal to A1 V1. And what is the idea? Already we got seen A1 V1. It is given that you will be having a water velocity of water. Water is what? It is a standard liquid. For a liquid, we will reduce the continuity equation as what? A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So now only unknown is what? V2. So we can identify a V2. So now you are making what is A1 V1. So discharge on section 1 you are identifying now. So just you are substituting what is the A1 value calculated, and V1 value calculated is what it is given. It is not calculated, it is given 5 meter per second. So that you are substituting, so that you are identifying what is the discharge at section 1. So that same discharge only you will be having at section 2. Now you are having unknown V2. So that you can identify. So now we have A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. According to continuity equation for the case of liquid, A2 V1 equal to what? A2 V2. So from this you can identify the unknown V2. So you are substituting A2 value also, that we calculated as what, 0.01767. So that we are identifying what is V2 value, that is being calculated as 2.22 meter per second. Now continuing to the next problem. So now we got seen previous problem, it is being simple. Just two sections we had considered. Now we are having a diverging of two different sections, section 2 and section 3. Just like a Y type, you are getting diversion, and here also it is applicable. But the thing is, the discharge is going to get diversified. So now you can see how we are going to see solving this problem. So now what is given is D1 is given. This is what the diagram also given in the problem itself. So you can see that D1 value is given as well as V1 is given. D3 given as well as V2 given. Only the unknown is V3. So now by seeing this, you can identify as usual in the previous problem. So you are converting it into meter and substituting pi by 4 D1 square. So you are identifying what is the area at section 1. And V1 is what it is already given in problem. Similarly, D2 also it is given. Now in D3 and A3, after that we are calculating, but V3 is not, it is not known, okay? So you are required to identify that. So you are required to determine the velocity in 15 centimeter pipe if the average velocity is being 20 centimeter and diameter of pipe is 2 centimeter, 2 meter per second, okay? So now you are required to identify the V3. Now let you are having Q1, Q2, Q3, that will be the what? Discharges at section 1 and section 2 to section 3. So now you are making the calculation that according to the continuity equation, the Q1 will be what? That is what it is get diversified as Q2 and Q3. So Q1 will be what? That is equal to Q2 and Q3. Here you are having a mass of fluid. That is what it is going here and here. So now discharge at Q1 is you had identified using A1 V1. You can identify what is Q1 because A1 we had already calculated and you are substituting that value here. And V1 it is given in problem itself, that is 2.5 meter per second, that is given in problem itself. Now you will be making an identification of V3. So how to identify value of V3? You are making Q2 equal to what? A2 V2. Q2 value that will be equal to A2 V2, and you have identified the Q2 value. And Q3 value is what? A3 V3. So now you are substituting the values of Q1 and Q2 in the equations. So you are knowing that Q1 equal to Q2 plus Q3. So by substituting this, you are identifying what is Q3 value, because you are having Q1 value and Q2 value, and also you are knowing this Q1 only what it is will be equivalent to this Q2 plus Q3. So by this, while you are identifying how much discharge will be going on the section 3.3, now you are knowing the discharge going on the section 3.3. Now you can use A3 V3 equal to Q3. A3 also you are having a known value, and only unknown is what V3. So now you can identify the V3 value. So that is what Q3 equal to A3 into V3. So by that only unknown is what V3. So by substituting this 0.1139, that will be equal to what the area 3 is what 0.01767. Only unknown is what V3. You can easily identify what is the V3. So it is being 0.1139 divided by 0.01767, that is equal to 6.44 meter per second. So what is the important thing with the comparison to the previous problem, that is directly it is not having any problem. The discharge will be what from one section to another section it is flowing throughout one pipe only, but you are having a diverging of pipe here. So this Q1 will be equal to Q2 plus Q3. That is what is important while solving these kind of problems. So you have to identify wherever it is getting a partitioning of piping, then you have to make the logic correctly. Now we will see about continuity equation in 3 dimension. So continuity equation, if you are seeing, in case of Cartesian coordinate, it will be rho p by del t del rho by del t plus del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w, that will be equal to 0. This is what a continuity equation and the Cartesian coordinate in most general form. So this equation is what applicable in steady and unsteady flow, uniform and non-uniform flow, as well as compressible and incompressible fluids. So for a steady flow, this del rho by del t, that will be equal to 0, and hence the equation will become on that del rho by del t you are making that is as 0, so that it is getting reduced to del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del s rho w, that is equal to 0. So if the fluid is incompressible, then the rho is what it is constant, because you are knowing incompressible means what? Incompressible means liquid. For the case of liquid, the rho is constant. For gases only what? Density is not constant. That is what you had learned in case of properties of fluid density at model 1. So that your density is being constant, so that you are making this density as being constant. You are not considering this density now. It is not changing. Okay. So dou by dou x means what? It is a partial differentiation with respect to x. Dou by dou y means partial differentiation with respect to y. So that is what differentiation means. It is changing. It is not changing. Constant means you are not going to consider that rho. So that you will be having dou u by dou x plus dou u v by dou n plus dou w by dou s. That will be equal to 0. So for the case of two-dimensional flow, we are not having the third dimension. W is not considered. So that the equation will be reduced to only this dou e by dou x and dou v by dou y. That is what in case of a two-dimensional flow. So now seeing about a velocity acceleration, calculation of velocity acceleration, capital V is what resultant velocity, and the individual x, y, z axis direction velocity is what? Small u, small v, small w. So the velocity components is what? Function of space coordinates at time. So if you are seeing that the velocity components, small u, that will be function of what? X, y, z coordinate as well as the time. Time is also the function. That is what you are going to see dou u by dou t. Okay. So it is getting differentiated with respect to time. It is considered with the coordinates as well as with respect to time, the velocity is going to change. So that is what the resultant velocity, if you are seeing. So the velocity can be written in a vector form, v equal to ua plus vj plus wk. We are already familiar these things in case of an first year subjects itself, engineering mechanics itself, we will be very familiar with this identification of resultant. So that will be what? The coefficient is square root. So that is square root of u square plus v square w square. So by that way you can identify what will be the resultant velocity. And also the total acceleration will be written in the form. So acceleration one, it is a change in velocity with respect to time. So that by a chain rule of differentiation, we will be writing that du by dt you can write as dou u by dou x into dx by dt. You can able to see it is going to be the same dou u by dou t and dou u by dou t, but you will be having the x-axis dx dou x, dy dou y, dz dou z. Finally, you will be having dou u by dou t. That is what the chain rule of differentiation. And here you will be having what this dx by dt, you will be knowing that is u, and dy by dt is what, that is v, and dz by dt is what, small w, that is a velocity component at x direction, velocity component at y direction, velocity component at z direction. So you can able to make the substitutions, so that ax value you can write as u dou u by dou x, and here v dou u by dou y, and w dou u by dou z plus dou u by dou t. So similarly, you can write for AY and AZ. The only difference is being what you will be having, instead of U, you can able to see, here you will be getting V. That's the difference. And similarly, in case of W, z-axis, you will be getting W velocity. That's the respective velocity in the case of an z-axis. So you are similarly getting what is the acceleration at X, Y, Z. And now for a steady flow, you are already seen what is in a steady flow. Steady flow will be with respect to time, the velocity is not going to change, so that you are going to make the resultant velocity dou u by dou t, that will be equal to 0, dou v by dou t equal to 0, and dou w by dou t equal to 0. If it is two dimensional, you are not considering the dou w by dou t, only you will be having u and v1. So the acceleration in x and y direction becomes, so whatever we had already written, okay. So you are making 0, this dou e by dou t and dou v by dou t and dou w by dou t, whatever we had seen previously, you will be having addition of final component is being what, dou e by dou t plus dou v by dou t plus dou w by dou t. So that is getting 0. So you will be having only ax equal to just partial differentiation will be there, okay, x, y, z, and you will be having u in case of du by dt. Throughout v you can see, okay, at the top, okay, and you will be having x, y, z, commonly it will come with respect to x, y, z axis, you will be making differentiation. That is what the acceleration in case of x, y, z direction for the case of a steady flow. So as usual, acceleration vector, how you had identified resultant velocity, like that acceleration vector also you can write axi plus ayj azk form, so that you can identify the acceleration vector, and acceleration you can identify the resultant acceleration, you can identify as square root of ax square plus ay square az square. So now we can see a simplified problem. So now velocity vector is given, and you will be knowing velocity vector is given means this will be what, your u value, that is velocity at x component, and this will be what, v value, velocity component at y axis, and small w, velocity component at z axis. Because ijk means what, it is a x, y, z coordinate responsibility. So now you are required to identify what is the velocity at acceleration at 2, 1. So now, as mentioned, you have written u is what, 4x cube, v equal to minus 10x square, and w is what, this 2t. So now you will be going to calculate what will be the 213 at 0.213. X is what, 2, and y is 1, and z is 3. And you are required to identify for the time t equal to 1. Already we know the equations, how to write the equation. Now you are identifying what is u, v, w. Substitute the value of x, y, z, and you will be knowing what is the u value and u value and w value. You are substituting that x value is what, 2. That is what you are substituting here on the x. And at y value you will be having value 1, you can able to see value 1, okay, and w equal to 2 times of t, t value is what, 1, so you are making value of 1, so that you are identifying what is u, v, w. So now velocity vector, that will be what, you can able to write the velocity vector, you have identified what is u, what is v, what is w, you will be writing it 32i minus 40j plus 2k. So now you can able to identify what is velocity magnitude, that will be what, square root of this 32 square and 40 square and 2 square, because we had already seen how to identify it, okay. So resultant velocity you can identify, that is being 32 square plus minus 44 square plus 2 square. So you can identify what is the final answer, okay. That's being getting a 51.26 units. In a similar way, they had asked you acceleration, in the same way you can make identification of acceleration. So acceleration is given by equation, this is what we had finally seen. And if it is being a the case of an incompressible, then this will be what, made into a 0. But now you can see that from a velocity component, it is not mentioned either it is being a compressible fluid and it is being a incompressible fluid. So we are considering as it is that equation, okay. So now here u, v, w, we know the values. Now what will be the value of dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou u by dou z, dou u by dou t? That's what we are required to identify. Similarly for v component and w component. So now dou u by dou x, if you are seeing, we have to make a partial differentiation with respect to x. So here it is 4x cube. So while you are differentiating partially with respect to x, it will become what? 12x square. And the u, if you are going to make partial differentiation with respect to y, there is no y component, so that is 0. Sorry, there is no z component, so that is 0. And t, there is no t, so that is 0 only. So in case of v, dou v by dou x, it have a x component, so minus 20x y. You are making partial differentiation, so y you are keeping as constant, so that is being what? Minus 20x y. Now making dou v by dou y with respect to y partially you are differentiating, so this minus 10x square you are keeping as it is. While you are differentiating y, the value is being 1, so you are keeping as minus 10x square. Now w equal to 2t, that is not going to come in case of an dou v by dou z, because you are not having z component. Dou v by dou t, while you are making, you are not having any v component, w component only, so only a w component it will be considered. So here you are not having a x component for the case of w, and you are not having a component of y and a component of z. Only thing, you are not having z here, only t. So while you are making a partial differentiation with respect to t, you will get a dou w by dou t, that is equal to 2. It's not 2.1, it is 2 only, okay? So dou w by dou t, that will be equal to 2. So now you are substituting the acceleration component 0.213, that is what the x, y, z component given. So now you are going to substitute the values so that we had identified what is the individual acceleration equation. So by making the substitutions of the values, okay, you can able to identify what will be the respective acceleration. Once you are identifying the respective acceleration, we are knowing axi plus ayj plus azk as you are seen in the previous description, so that you will be identifying in case of a vectorial form. Once vectorial form is found, then the acceleration magnitude you can identify square root of this 1536 square plus 320 square plus 2 square. You can identify what is the acceleration. Now about a velocity potential function, it is velocity potential function is what it is defined as scalar function of space and time, such that it's a negative derivative with respect to any direction that gives the fluid velocity in the direction. So it is denoted by the symbol pi. So if you're seeing the pi symbol, that will be what function of an x, y, z for a steady flow, such that u will be minus dou pi by dou x minus dou pi by dou y for v, and minus dou pi by dou z for the case of w. And where u, v, w, as we had seen in the previously, it is what a component of velocity in x, y, z direction respectively. So now about a velocity potential function for the case of incompressible steady flow. Incompressible means what? You are well knowing it is liquid, okay? So dou v by dou x plus dou v by dou y plus dou w by dou z, that will be equal to 0. And substituting the values of u, v, w from equation, already in the previous slide we got seen that equation dou minus dou pi by dou x and minus dou pi by dou y minus dou pi by dou z for respective u, v, w. That's what you are substituting on the respective place. So that while you are substituting, you will be getting it as double partial differentiation, so that you will be getting dou square pi by dou x square, okay? So this is what the equation will be looking as a same thing as a Laplace equation. This equation is what a Laplace equation. For a two-dimension case, as already mentioned, z-axis is not considered, so that you are nullifying that z-axis, so that you will get the equation reduced to only x and y-axis respectively. So now about a velocity potential function. In a velocity potential function, the pi will be satisfying the Laplace equation, and the potential function for the case of rotational component, the omega z will be, we will be having half of the dou v by dou x minus dou e by dou y. So you can use able to see here at the denominator you will be getting other two axes, and here also you will be seeing, and for z respectively you will get a small w, but the small w will not come here, v and u will be coming here. It is easy to remember. Similarly wy you can able to see just like a cycle, z x y, okay, then y z x, x y z, just like a cycle it will go in a denominator. That is what the way of writing the rotational component, it will go in a rotational way. So that that is what the formula for a rotational component, it will be useful while solving problem. So now the velocity potential function, you will be substituting the u, v, w value, whatever you have seen in the previous slides, okay? So that you will be substituting, and you can able to get the respective, the omega z, omega y and omega x value. So that the pi is being what a continuous function, and in a Laplace form you will be getting it, the tau square pi by tau x tau y, that will be equal to tau square pi by tau y by tau x. Similarly, tau square pi by tau z x, that will be equal to tau square pi by tau x, etc. and here omega z, omega y, omega x, that will be equal to 0. And there is two conditions. If velocity potential exists, that flow will be what considered to be a rotational. And if the velocity potential is satisfying the Laplace equation, it represents the possible steady incompressible irrotational flow. About a stream function, it is defined as scalar function of space and time such that the derivative with respect to any direction give the velocity component at right angle to the direction. It is denoted by the symbol psi and defined only for two-dimensional flow. That is for function of an x and y such that you will be having dou psi by dou x that will be equal to y, dou psi by dou y that will be equal to minus u. So the properties of stream function is what? If the stream function exists, it is possible case of fluid flow which may be rotational or irrotational, and it is satisfying the Laplace equation means it is possibly the case of an irrotational flow. About a equation of motion, according to Newton's second law of motion, the net force Fx acting on a fluid element in the direction of x is equal to mass m of the fluid element multiplied by the acceleration of ax in the x direction. Mathematically, you can write it as Fx equal to m into ax. So in the fluid flow, the following forces will be present. So the gravity force, pressure force, and the force due to viscosity, and force due to turbulence, and force due to compressibility. And we will see about the equation of motion as combination of all these things. So that in this, if you are having the force due to compressibility and Fc is negligible, if you are neglecting this Fc, that net force you will be calling as an Reynolds equation of motion. And if you are neglecting Ft, then you will be calling it as an Navier-Stokes equation. And if you are seeing viscous force is 0, and the equation of motion will become a Euler's equation of motion. So Euler's equation of motion can be written as dp by rho plus g dz plus b dv, that will be equal to 0. So Bernoulli's equation is obtained by integrating this Euler equation only. So whatever the Euler equation you have seen, if you are integrating that, you will get an Bernoulli's equation. If the flow is incompressible, that means a liquid. For the case of liquid, we know density is constant. So as density is constant, then you are not going to make integration with respect to rho. Okay, so that you will be directly you can write. You are not going to have a differentiation. Directly you are writing p by rho plus gz plus v square by 2. That will be equal to constant. And similarly, you will be making it. So p by rho g plus z plus v square by 2g, that will be equal to constant. You are dividing by g throughout. Okay, so that you will be making p by rho g and plus v square by 2g plus z, that is equal to constant. This is what said to be a Bernoulli's equation. So in the Bernoulli's equation, these terms individually, this p by rho g, that will be said as a pressure energy, and v square by 2g, that will be said as a kinetic energy, and z is what said to be as a potential energy or potential head. In case of solving problems, you will be helpful by seeing these terms: pressure head, kinetic head, potential head. That means what? P by rho g will be a pressure head, and v square by 2g is a kinetic head, and z is what? A potential head. On this, we have the assumption for the Bernoulli's equation: the fluid will be ideal and viscosity is 0, and the flow is steady, the flow is incompressible, and the flow is rotational. Now we will see on a problem. So in case of a problem, it is given in that problem that water is flowing through a pipe of a 5 centimeter diameter and a pressure of 29.43 Newton centimeter square with a mean velocity of 2 meter per second, and you are required to identify what is the total head or total energy per unit weight of the water at a cross section which is 5 centimeter above the datum line. So for that, you are getting the given data, what is given in the question. As usual, you are converting into meter. Anything is given in centimeter and mm. So everything you are converting into a meter. So you are writing the given data first, and we are knowing total head in Bernoulli's equation itself. We got seen it is being what? Pressure head plus kinetic head and datum head. Pressure head, that p by rho g we got seen, and v square by 2g you got seen, and finally datum head z you got seen. That is what a Bernoulli's equation which is going to be applicable while solving this kind of problem. So pressure head is what? P by rho g. So all values are known. P is known, and rho, it is given water. For water, it is a standard liquid, so that is 1000. So you can able to identify what will be the pressure head. And the kinetic head also what? It is being v square by 2g. You can able to make substitution, and you can able to identify what is kinetic head. And you will be able to identify the total head. Total head is being what? The addition of all these three: pressure head as well as kinetic head and datum head. So by adding this, you are getting the answer as 35.204 meter. So the next problem also it is similar to that one previous problem. You will be having a different cross section now. Okay, so you have the given data. D1 is what 20 centimeter and D2 is this two section. Okay, 20 centimeter is one section diameter and D2 is what 10 centimeter. Here the velocity is given. First section velocity is given. And in the second section, you are knowing D2 so that A2 can be identified from that, as we got seen in the previous continuity problem. Okay, so velocity head at section 1 now you are making as you had seen in the Bernoulli's equation. So velocity head can be identified v1 squared by tg, and you will be able to continue this problem at section 2 also. That is what velocity head at section 2 is being v2 by 2g, so that you can able to identify the velocity head. And now we are applying a continuity equation again. So a1 v1 equal to what? A2 v2. Since it is being water, water is being what? It is a incompressible fluid. So that continuity equation will be what? Rho will be constant. So rho 1 a1 v1 equal to rho 2 a2 v2. That is for gases, and for a liquid, a1 v1 equal to a2 v2. And even if you have a third section, that will be what? Equal to a3 v3. So by this, you can able to identify what is V2. V2 you are identifying because V2 is not given in the problem. So using continuity equation, you can identify a V2. So that you can substitute that identified V2 value so that you can able to see what might be the velocity head. So rate of discharge will be what? A1 V1. So by using already in a continuity equation problem, you got seen that. So you will be able to identify what is the rate of discharge. And we are noting that 1 meter cube equal to what? That will be equal to 1000 liter. 1 liter equal to 1000 centimeter cube, like that 1 meter cube equal to 1000 liters. So in the same way, if you are having any datum changing problem, so this is what a datum head is changing. You can able to see a different datum head here, 4 meter and 6 meter. If your pipe is being in an inclined passage, then you will be what? You will be going to get the variation in datum head. So that's what a remaining thing is as usual. You are identifying D1, A1, okay, and P1 it is already given in problem, okay, that is given in problem, okay. Only thing is P2 is not given, okay. So P1 is given in problem, but it's given as centimeter square, as I already mentioned. Whatever given centimeter mm, you have to make it into meter. That conversion only done, okay. Centimeter square to meter square, you are making conversion. Making conversion is not so tedious. That place you can substitute what is the relation between meter to the centimeter. 100 centimeter is 1 meter. So here you can make for a centimeter to meter 10 power minus 2 you have to put. So by that you can able to make divided by 10 power minus 2 while it is going upside, it will be what? 10 power 4. Okay, that is what easily you can able to make the conversion. So D2 is given. So A2 you can identify. P2 is unknown. That is what you need to identify P2. But ZU is known. It is 4 meter. And Zn is what? 6 meter. So that's the given data. So you can able to identify what will be the rate of flow. Rate of flow, it is what? It is given in data. It is a given data. Okay, rate of flow also given. So what is required to identify? You require to identify the intensity of pressure only. Okay. So you are knowing continuity equation A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So that V1 equal to what? You can able to calculate what will be the V1, okay, with the help of Q by A1. And also V2 equal to what? It is Q by A2. So you are knowing V1, A1 as well as V1, V2 you had identified. Now you can make application of Bernoulli's equation at both the section 1.1 and 1.2. So by making this application, so V1 value we had already identified as well as V2 value we had already identified. That's what in the previous slide also you had seen, okay. So now you are making an application of this Bernoulli's equation. So whatever you had identified, P1 value, it is given in problem itself. Only again not given in problem is what? P2. All the things we had calculated, V1, V2, now we had calculated. Using a continuity equation, we had calculated. So that calculated value you will be making substitution. So that you are making a substitution of value and you are making the reductions. You can be able to make the reduction of an equation because only unknown is what? P2. So that you can able to identify what will be the value of a P2. So that is what you are getting in Newton per meter square. As in the given question, they had given P1 in Newton per centimeter square. If needed, you can convert it to Newton per centimeter square. Just divided by 10 power 4, you can able to convert it to a Newton per centimeter square. And this will be the last problem. So the same thing, the datum heads are changing, and now the P1, P2 is given. Okay. So the given data is D1 is given, so that A1 you can identify from that, P1 is given. Similarly at section 2, D2 is given, P2 is given. So you can able to identify A2. So rate of flow is given in the problem. So that Q equal to what? 40 by 1000, because liter per second they had given, and we are knowing 1 meter cube equal to what? 1000 liter. From that you can able to write in case of meter cube. So if you need it conversion from liter to meter cube, then you have to divide it by 1000. Okay. So that's what a continuity equation we are knowing, A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. So that rate of flow also what? That will be equal to 0.04. By applying this continuity equation, you can able to identify what will be the V1, because you are knowing about Q, that is being 0.04, and A1 you can identify with respect to given D1, that is being what? Pi by 4 D1 square. So directly you can identify V1 value. In the same way, you can identify what? V2 also you can identify. Then you can go as usual, Bernoulli's equation you can go, and we can identify what will be the difference in the data here. Because Z1, Z2, both it is not given, that you can identify. Okay, so in the same way, how you had identified V1, you had identified V2 with the help of a continuity equation. And this will be the last slide. And seeing that you are having an application of Bernoulli's equation. So you are only unknown is what? Z1, Z2. In the question, what it is asked, what is the difference of a datum head? So this Z1 and Z2, if you are taking to this side, it will become Z1 minus Z2, and this numerical values you can take on the right side, so that you can able to identify what will be the difference in the datum head. So that that is what difference in datum head you can be able to identify it as 13.70 meter. So thank you very much for listening. We will see with the next video lecture.